Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of a Hannibal reaction. This is Haarute Live, and my name is Matt. Hello. Alright, what's up? So, last time on Hannibal, what was happening? So, Will and Abigail went to, not Florence, was it Palermo? I think it was Palermo. They went to Italy to search for Hannibal, and then turns out that Abigail was dead all along. They kind of met, but not really. They were in the same building, and then they went into like the weird creepy dungeon that was there in Italy. Apparently that's a real place. I figure it would be. Why is Italy like that? I have no idea, but it be like that sometimes. So Will went there, and something was pointed out to me, which I could kind of realize it, but I didn't fully think about it. It's the idea that in seeing Abigail being alive and then subsequently killed, that recontextualized things regarding Hannibal in Will's mind. So Will would be conflicted regarding Hannibal's actions more so than before after learning this, because before he was like, oh, he killed Abigail, but then he was like, oh, he didn't kill Abigail, he was keeping her safe, and then we would maybe get all together. But then he betrayed his trust, and then Abigail paid for it. So, sure, it adds another layer to their weird relationship. So that's just something I wanted to point out before we move forward, that I understand better now, because I put more effort into thinking about it. We met this other guy, this cop. Somebody told me his name. Let me look for it for a second. The detective's name is Rinaldo Pazzi. Okay, so just Pazzi. Sure, whatever, Pazzi. So Mr. Pazzi over here, this detective, he is been searching for Hannibal for the past, I don't know, 20 years or whatever. So, well, he found them, he caught him, but they didn't have enough evidence in order to prosecute him, so he just got away. And apparently he's been up to no good in Italy, like 2 decades ago, and then he left. So now they're thinking about, hey, maybe Mr. Graham can help me out, because he can see Will as someone that did try to get Hannibal, and then eventually he was like, wait, Hannibal got me instead, which is kind of the same thing that happened to Pazzi. So he's like, okay, maybe we can use your help. So yeah, now we're encountering this situation where Will is kind of in the middle of the battle between Pazzi and Hannibal, and Will is like, all right, I could help this man catch the serial killer, but that serial killer has a fat ass though. So I don't know in which direction Will is gonna go, because we did like talk about previous episode about like the idea that Will feels some kind of attachment to Hannibal. I remember the name of the term. It was called trauma bonding. Is whenever you screw with someone mentally, you cause them trauma, but then immediately reward them for it. So then they get like, it really does fuck with someone's psychology, and maybe they'll get fond of you despite you being their abuser. So maybe, and I think and Hannibal has done that to Will before. He definitely has. Like for like half of season 2, it was nothing but that. Half of season 1, half of season 2, it was just that. So let's not say that that's not the case. But I don't know, like it all comes down to Will's feelings and what he's gonna do. So yeah, that's mostly what happened previous episode. My friend did send me this picture and tell me to use it for my Hannibal stuff. So yeah, just put Matt Mikkelsen's face on this, and then you're good. Besides that, I think we're good. We can just begin. Check out the Patreon, check out the link in the description below, or the pop-up on screen. It should be around there somewhere. You can watch up to the next 2 episode reactions to Hannibal, so up to episode 5, as well as full-length reactions, in case you're into that. Alright, so let's just begin. So Hannibal, season 3, episode 3. Let's go.
You ever been a father?
I was to my sister. Her name was Misha.
Hannibal!
Oh, we're gonna get to see about Hannibal's sister.
Betrayal and forgiveness are best seen as something akin to falling in love.
Hell yeah, lay the gay on me.
You cannot control with respect to whom you fall in love.
I know exactly how I will navigate my way out of whatever it is I've gotten myself into.
I like the descriptor.
Where will Will Graham be looking for you next?
Someplace I can never go. Home.
Oh, maybe we'll learn about his past, like proper. This used to be his old place. So where are we? In Italy or in Lithuania? Ah, Ostatatija, Lithuania. Cool, so it was Lithuania. Yo, that's sick. Yo, I wasn't expecting Hannibal to turn into a world tour, but I'm all for it. Fuck America. Hell yeah, let's explore Europe, dude. Look at this creepy ass mansion. Makes sense for this to be where this man came from. Is there a mansion or a fucking castle? Oh yeah, cool. We have a personal graveyard too. That makes sense. Man, look at all this like creepy ass mist. Like why? Why does it have to be so dramatically creepy? Why can it not just be like a nice regular like everyday noontime? You know, there's some sun, there's a little bit of green. Misha Lecter. Okay. I like the setup for this episode already. I like it a lot.
Rooms you can't bring yourself to go. Nothing escapes from them that causes you any comfort.
Screams fill some of those places, but the corridors do not echo screaming, because I hear music.
Alright. Does it try to drown his sorrow of the past? Of maybe letting his sister die or something? By just focusing on the future murder, something like that. Alright, sure. There's a huntress or something. She seems cool. Maybe that's Hannibal's sister. Maybe she didn't die. She is a huntress, so...
I pay lots of attention, but not in a wide-eyed, indiscriminate way. That may have been impulsive.
Maybe. That's so fucked.
I can't see.
That's so fucked. Just let it happen.
Technically, you killed him.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
No longer interested in preserving the peace you found here?
Yeah. Why did you
You
kill
cannot
him?
preserve entropy. It gradually descends into disorder.
What?
2 men from the Capone are dead.
And you just walked in.
You're drawing them to you, aren't you?
What are you doing? Has he just given up? Like in general, he's just like my gay love broke my heart. Please tell me this is John Crawford. Please, please, yes, yes. Hell yeah, dude. I would recognize that fucking mean mugging just walk from the back anywhere. Depending on whether or not Will is here, he might be real or not.
My city mocks me. My hunt for remorseless led the crows back at my heart.
I fucking love Passy. He's so dramatic. Everything and his deliverance and everything is fantastic.
And Monster will return to Florence.
I like that nickname so much, Il Mostro.
I'm not here for the monster. Not my house. Not my fire. I'm here for Will Graham.
I was hoping it would say that. But what does he mean by that? They didn't come together. At least it doesn't seem like it, so... With his fireflies. Man, this looks so fucking pretty. This does not look like Hannibal, the show. She's like an outcast of society, then... But why? Will, she has a gun. Don't scare her. Snails. A lot of them. You know, I think snails are fucking gross, but sure, I'll take snails over spiders. Oh, these are prisoners. Oh god. Alright. Gun behind you. We walked into something we shouldn't have.
I'm a friend of Hannibal.
He sent you?
He ate her.
Misha.
We have been each other's prisoner for a very long time.
What's your name?
Chio.
Chio.
Nakama.
That means comrade.
It's a Japanese word for very close friend.
Yes. Oh my god.
Yes, we were nakama.
Watashi wa nakama.
He left me with a smile.
Did he do the same to you? Where's your scar? I like her. Japanese badass lady.
The lamb must be newly slaughtered. The organs cooked the same day. I always oversee this process personally.
He looks into the camera like, her. I want to know about her. She's cool. She's on the way of being my new favorite character.
He does what was done to her.
How do you know it was your prisoner who killed Misha?
Hannibal told me so.
Oh, he told you. Sure.
If I were like Hannibal, I would have killed you already. Cooked you. Ate you.
This is a fun conversation, isn't it?
You've given that some thought.
It's kind of what I do.
Why are you looking for him after he left you? With a smile.
That's the question.
I've never known myself as well as I know myself
When I'm with him.
when I'm with him.
Good. Good line. That explains everything.
What do these grounds hold for you?
Yeah, why are you here?
Hannibal wanted to kill that man for what he did to Misha. I wouldn't let him take his life. So Hannibal left his life with me.
I see.
Curious if you would kill. I imagine he still is.
Just tell her exactly what was going on through Hannibal's mind. Why did he set you up to that task? Why are you doing her hair?
Why can't you go home, Hannibal?
Nothing happened to me. I happened.
Were you the one that did that to your sister?
How did your sister taste?
There we go. Or set him free. I mean, if this man was trapped here for like 20, 25 years, then this would be a lot to take in. Do not follow me. Just go. Just go, just go, just go. Bro, okay, I like this episode a lot, actually. Bro, Jack looks sick with all this facial hair.
Will Graham understands Hannibal. He accepts him. Now, who among us doesn't want understanding and acceptance?
Okay, she's gonna come in here and she's gonna be gone, and she's like, what? Wait. Hold up.
I'm sorry.
Alright. Episode's still going. Episode hasn't stopped yet. I was sure it would all be over, but no. What happened? Did she kill him? Yeah, she stabbed him. Good job, girl. Good job. Definitely not how I thought this would go. I love the fucked up music sounds or whatever that was. Alright, I have questions.
It was you I wanted to set free.
You said Hannibal was curious if I would kill. You were curious too.
I didn't want this.
Yes, you did. You were doing what he does. He'd be proud of you. His nakama.
You know.
Sure, let's get a drink. I would not drink out of this bottle.
For Misha.
I don't think that man killed Misha. Now what, girl?
I'll help you find him.
Oh,
Why would you help me?
guess I want to
Have
follow
no
them too.
reason to stay here. Not
Just-
anymore.
Alright, we got nothing better to do. I'm just gonna go with you, I guess. Ally obtained. Mental and emotionally scared ally obtained. What? Oh, I see. He's posing the body like Hannibal would. No, like a butterfly. No, like a firefly, actually. Is it gonna light up? Just put some LEDs on his butt? What were you doing in there? I waited for you for like 3 hours.
What your sister made you feel was beyond your conscious ability to control or predict. What Will Graham makes you feel is not dissimilar.
Love. He pays you a visit, or he doesn't.
Same with forgiveness. And I would argue the same with betrayal.
Misha didn't betray me. She influenced me to betray myself, but I forgave her that influence.
If past behavior is an indicator of future behavior,
The same fate awaits
there's
Will.
only one way you will forgive Will Graham.
Alright.
I have to eat him.
Thank you for being clear for once in our goddamn lives. But I thought that one was obvious enough, so. Okay, that episode was pretty good. I really like that episode. That episode was like the... I don't want to jump the gun and say that was the best episode of the show, but like it was, to me, it was pretty good. Like, it was like top 3 episodes at least. But what I really enjoyed about that episode is, well, many things actually. We got introduced to a new character, which I really like immediately. We got Jack Crawford coming back in, which I love. But more than that, we got to see Hannibal's past, and a lot of reference to Hannibal's past, and a lot of reference to Hannibal's like belief system a little bit. I mean, we've seen that before, but like it's the idea of like, okay, here's the thing. We see this lady, what's her name? Chio? Her name might have been Chio. I don't want to look it up because spoilers. But this lady, she is kind of trapped here watching over this dude who apparently ate Misha Lecter, which is Hannibal's sister. By the way, I was a big fan of this, just being like, hey, now we're just in like a random castle in Lithuania. Like, hell yeah, Hannibal World Tour. That makes me very happy. That's fucking fun, dude. But the thing is that this lady is watching over this dude who's in prison for killing and eating her. But when asked, how do you know that happened, she says, Hannibal told me. Which, and here's the thing, is that I would have believed, hey, okay, this dude killed and ate Misha, and Hannibal spends forever just doing that to other people what was done to his sister. But the thing is that then we, from the other side of the episode, we see Hannibal and Bedelia interacting, and it kind of hints to the idea that Hannibal did kill and eat Misha. But the thing is that Hannibal felt things towards her that he hadn't felt before, and he couldn't understand with his rationale. So, and the same applies to Will Graham. So maybe he was one of those weird people that was like, hey, maybe I like my sister a little bit too much, you know? Maybe he was going down the incest path. Doesn't matter because he ended up killing and eating her. So, you know, like, he didn't do a taboo. He did the other taboo. Whatever the case it is, it just doesn't matter. He's fucked up. But the thing is that his sister was very dear to him. And as a result, because he couldn't fully understand his emotions, he was like, well, fuck it, might as well eat her or something. I don't know. I don't fully understand how that went down. But it might have been just the idea that it makes me think back to like Garrett Jacob Hobbs, because Garrett Jacob Hobbs in the first episode and subsequent episodes a little bit, it was the idea that he honored the people that he killed, like because he saw all this like young girls that reminded him of his daughter. Oh my god, that's like a big parallel. But it reminds all this girl to his daughter, which was Abigail, and the reason why he. So, yeah, it's something similar. So he feels very strongly. He feels a lot of love towards this person in his life. And he wants to kill her and eat her because he's fucked up. He's like, this is the best way I have in order to like become one with this person, to like honor this person, like it's all these weird things. But it might be something like that where Hannibal felt that way. And the only person in his life that made him feel that way was his sister. And he was like, well, I gotta honor her. I gotta become one with her. So I'm gonna kill her and eat her. Okay, so Hannibal was young when this happened. So this might have been a case of him not understanding feelings, not understanding emotions. And he was just confused. And he was like, well, maybe this will make it make sense. So that he kills her, eats her. And now he's like, that actually felt really good. And that he keeps murdering people and eating them in order to like try and get that emotion a little bit again, trying to chase that high a little bit. And the only person that to him does something similar to what Misha did to him is Will. And I like that they just straight up talked about Hannibal just falling in love with Will. They just straight up said it. Because like that's the thing about the show, is this show, it's very gay, it's gay as fuck, but like they never really explicitly say it, so you could watch at least up until this point, you could watch the show and be like, oh, they're just really close friends. In this episode, I like that they just straight up said, like, you cannot choose who you fall in love with, something like that. Like, they just straight up referred to falling in love when they were talking to Hannibal about Will. So I like how they just said it. I was like, thank you. We've been waiting for like, I don't know how many episodes. Thank you for saying that. But then at the end of the episode, they're talking about, they talk about the idea of betrayal and who's the betrayer and who's the betrayed and forgiveness. And thing is that Hannibal ends up saying, Bedelia is the one that kind of says that if we have anything to go by past experiences, then that would mean that you would have to give Will the same treatment that you give to Misha, which makes me think that maybe there was some sort of betrayal happening with Hannibal and Misha, like Misha betrayed him or Hannibal betrayed Misha. I think Hannibal did say something similar to that. Didn't he say, I betrayed myself? Something like that. She influenced me to betray myself. Okay, random crackpot theory. She was the one that was like, hey, eat me. And he was like, but I don't wanna. And she was like, no, do it though. Like, she forced, or maybe not even that. Maybe it was just like she wanted you to kill her. So maybe she was the original fucked up person in this family who made Hannibal who he is by making him do the fucked up shit that she wanted to be done to her. Maybe she's the original corrupter. Maybe she's the original, like, I want to corrupt people around me. And maybe she was like, I want to corrupt my little brother. What's the most, like, fucked up thing I can do for his psyche? Yeah, sure, I'll make him kill me. That would be fun. So maybe he does that at her request or at her planning or something. She devises a situation in which that happens. And then Hannibal does that. And then he's like, oh shit, I killed my sister. Maybe the eating of the sister wasn't necessarily something that was part of the original plan. Maybe he just did that because he was like, well, maybe it could have been something like, well, I gotta dispose of the body. Or it could have been something like, well, I gotta honor her or something like that. Oh, maybe it was one of those things where like, we're dying and one of us need to survive. And then he just ate her. And like, she told him to do it. And then Hannibal just kind of got a whole mix of like feelings that he couldn't understand, and then that fucked him up forever. I don't know. Could have gone a lot of different ways. But the takeaway that we get at the end is that Hannibal ends up being like, okay, I gotta do the same to Will. Because, I feel this way towards Will, and I never felt about this way about anybody else other than my sister. So I think that the logical solution to this would be to just eat him. Yeah, sure, they're completely antagonistic towards each other again. I say completely, but like completely is kind of a loose term here. So Hannibal wants to eat Will, but I don't even know if like, because he's not eating him out of like hate or like anger. He's eating him out of love, which is again, the closest thing I'm thinking to is Garjago Hobbs at the beginning. He was like, yeah, I'm meeting these girls because I love them. Sure. It's not even that I love them, it's that I love what they represent because they remind me of my daughter. Which, sure, whatever, man. The show already is just telling me this is the direction we're probably gonna go, but like, yeah, I don't have enough details about the past in order to like fully determine what happened. But like the thing is that he did lie to Chiyo, I think that's her name, the cool Japanese lady. She's not gonna lie, immediately in like one of my favorite characters of the show, on her way to being my favorite character, because you know we had Bev, and I love Bev, but then she died. So since then, I've just kind of been like, whatever, man. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for this show to just fucking sell me on something that I love. And then they introduce this character, and I'm like, hell yeah, she's cool. You know, cool Japanese lady who's just hanging out here, just living on her own, just being the guard to this like random prisoner. And the reason why she's a guard to this random prisoner is because the alternative would be for him to die, so she wants to protect them. So she has just exiled her life to become the guard for this random dude who doesn't even like you. And I don't know, she's just a badass. She just looks like a badass, she seems like a badass, she talks like a badass, so she is a badass. So I don't know, I like her because of that only. She might not be important at all, that's fine, but it looks like so Will freed her from her destiny by freeing the dude, and it doesn't look like Will wanted the dude to go back and attack her. Like, that was weird because like so he freed the dude, and I'm like, okay, that's gonna matter. We're gonna see the dude like maybe next episode. He's gonna be up to something. And then no, next scene we see the dude in the cage again, and I'm like, wait, what happened? And then cage opens and the dude attacks her, and I'm like, oh, he went back to just attack her. Oh, okay. Sure, that's bad. And I got worried for a second because I was like, are you going to introduce a character that I love and immediately kill her off? They didn't do that. She killed him. But then this creates this thing of like, well, Hannibal probably wanted her to see whether or not she would kill the dude. She ended up killing the dude, and she tells Will that what Will did is essentially what Hannibal would have done. So and she again relates them as being similar to each other. Again, this is just something that we see a lot in this show. But so she's kind of scarred because she just had to kill a dude that she didn't want to kill, a dude that she's spent maybe decades protecting, and yeah, she just fucking died. She killed him, and it's like, well, fucking goddamn it, like, now what? And I like that she's like, I'll help you find Hannibal, and Will is like, why? And she's like, because I got nothing better to do. Like, because like her life purpose kind of just got destroyed. Just fuck it, just it's gone. So she's kind of like a zombie now, and she's like, alright, fuck it, I guess I'll go. And so Will and Chiyo are going around, and maybe they'll find Hannibal, and that's gonna be fun. We're getting cool characters, man. We got fucking Jack Crawford back. That slaps. Like, that made me happy because like when you see him walk in, you don't see his face, you don't even see his hair, and I was like, please let that be Jack Crawford, because the way he was walking, just like from his back, I was like, please tell me Jack Crawford. That looks like Jack Crawford, because it's like, I don't know how to explain it. He's not like skinny, and he's not like I don't know how to describe him, but he's like this beefy walk. Like, he has like a massive like a bag and shoulders. He's like, hell yeah. So he starts walking, and he has this suit and he has this hat, and I'm like, please let that be Jack Crawford. He takes off the hat, and he looks not bald, but like not a lot of hair, and I'm like, oh hell yeah, oh hell fucking yeah. And then they just show me, and I'm like, hell yeah, he's alive, he's living. And I was like, maybe he's not real, but then Will is not there, so I'm like, oh fuck, he's real. He has a scar and everything. Hell yeah, dude. That made me so happy. That made me so fucking happy. Anyway, moving onwards, Jack talks to the posse or whatever. He did say Will was dead and I was dead, so it makes me think that both of them like died and then they got resurrected in the ambulance or something. Like, that's weird because like it's so funny because like Jack was a character that I thought he died. I legitimately think that he did die because I was like, Jack, Abigail, Alana will in terms of like likelihood of dying, and I was like, Jack probably did die. He didn't. So that's funny because that means that everybody was bleeding out on the floor, and that everyone was in a coin flip as to whether or not they would survive. The only person that I thought maybe died was Jack, because he had to sing with the phone and then he stopped moving. So I'm like, okay, he did die. Psych! He didn't. Nobody died. And then Abigail did die, so never mind that. But like, Abigail was already kind of, for the sake of the plot, dead, but then she came back, but then she's dead again. It's like, sure. She only came back to inflict Will mental damage. That was the only reason she came back in. Also to push Alana out of a window, but I don't know if Alana died, so maybe that didn't matter. Yo, there was a really good line, which I called before he said it. It was Will talking to Chio, and I think he said something like, I never understood myself, and I don't understand myself better than when I am with him. And I'm glad that I verbatim said the next line before they said it. I was like, hell yeah. Because like, that makes a lot of sense. Like, that means that the little like Will Graham analysis that I had previous episode was completely dead on. He was pretty much exactly where I thought he was. Like, Will doesn't really have anyone, and he's confused about himself, but when he's with Hannibal, he feels seen. He feels like almost like he's tangible, you know? Like, before that, he doesn't put that much thought into it. He doesn't fully understand things, and nobody is there next to him in order to like point things out to him. So he's alone, and he doesn't understand anything. But when Hannibal is there with him, Hannibal sees him. He points out things about himself that make sense, and Will is like, oh, okay, I see, I understand. And it's the thing of like, there's no one else in his life that could make him feel that way. And Will claims that he doesn't fully understand himself why he's here. So another thing is that Jack Crawford is here, but it doesn't seem to be with Will. Like, it looks like Will came here on his own, and then Jack Crawford came in after Will, chasing him. So it looks like, well, I don't know what it could be. So Will is here for Hannibal, whatever it might be. He's just like, I just want to talk, man. Just give me a little kissy, please, man. Hannibal is like, I'm gonna devour him. I will consume his body. Sure. Jack Crawford comes in and he's like, I'm not here for Hannibal. I'm here for Will Graham, which is like, okay, what is he here for? Like, what are we? So it makes you think maybe he's here to save Will. He's like, Will understands Hannibal way too much. He's like, I'm worried about him getting too close and like losing himself or something like that, or him being in danger. Hannibal will just kill him. So I'm here to help him out. I'm here to save him. So it could be something like that. So yeah, sure. Maybe next episode we'll see Alana. Just like Will comes after Hannibal, Jack comes after Will, and then Alana comes after she heard Jack came in, and it's just like this, sure, dumb sequence. It'll be fun. I just really enjoyed this episode. Is there anything else I want to say about it? Oh, he did kill that one guy, but just lobotomizing him in the table. That was like raw. That was like, oh shit. Wasn't expecting that one. We got a lot of snails. Snails look gross. I don't like them. There's probably stuff that I'm forgetting that happened in the episode that I haven't mentioned already. Will did pay respects to the body by turning him into a firefly or whatever. That was something. Hannibal is continuing to kill members of whatever the group, the Italian elite cult-like group that worships Sant'Alghieri or whatever. Like, I don't give a shit. It's just this like high-class society people, whatever. He kills one of them, he takes his place, and then he kills another one, and it's like, oh fuck, what's happening? So now we're in the situation where I don't know what Hannibal is doing, and they did say you're drawing them to you. What is Hannibal doing? Is Hannibal being destructive? Is that what it is? Is Hannibal being self-destructive? Is he just like, well, fuck it, everybody come after me, everybody come in, get me, and I'll kill all of you, and I'll die in the process? Is he just like, I will take Will Graham out and I will eat him and then I may die? Is it something like that? I don't know what it will be. But Delia stopped kind of being the quote-unquote victim for this episode, at least in most of the scenes. And she was just kind of being Hannibal's therapist and just asking Hannibal the real questions about his past and being like, what do you feel? And how do you feel to eat your sister? You know, shit like that. So that really helped a lot. That really helped a lot, because whenever we learn more about Hannibal, about real questions about real Hannibal, that's when the show is shining. I mean, this episode fucking slapped. I loved it because of like all the things that I just mentioned. But like at the end of the day, like, okay, so it feels like this episode is giving the show direction. That's what it's doing. It's giving the show direction, and it's giving it a little bit of like, okay, so I was thinking about this while watching the episode. Like early in the show, we had, all right, we're FBI investigating crimes, and also Hannibal's there. And then it's like, oh shit, Hannibal's doing some corruption. Oh fuck. And then we had drama regarding Will Graham, and it's like, oh fuck, was he crazy, was he not? And then it's like, okay, we're gonna try to get Hannibal. And then this season is like, I don't know. This season is like, all right, we're all hanging out in Europe. We're all just trying to understand how we feel and what the other characters do and feel, which is something that we really didn't do a lot of before. We did a little bit of it, but in this season it feels like way more. We're understanding things a little bit better regarding how everybody feels, which at the end of the day, at this point, I'm like, this is what the show is about. So let me focus on that. And now Hannibal is like, all right, I love Will Graham. I want his dick in my mouth. Literally. I want to chop his dick off and eat it, as alongside the rest of his body, but that's besides the point. But yes, he wants to do that, and the reason why he wants to do it is because he loves him. He also feels betrayed by him, but he also betrayed Will. So like, it's this weird situation where like, you're both the betrayed and the betrayer, and Will is also simultaneously both, and you feel very strongly towards him because you fell in love with him, and now you just want him inside you. Will is confused as to why he cares about Hannibal so much, but he claims that he only feels ever like he understands things and himself only when he's with Hannibal. Sure, that explains. He's in love with him. Let's just cut it short. Let's just say it like it is. So he wants to get with him, but to what purpose, I don't know. He probably just wants to go and talk with him and then figure out things as they go. But Hannibal does want to hit him, so that's another thing. Jack is here being like, I need to find Will because probably I want to save him. Pasi is like, I wanna find Il Mostro, which is a baller ass nickname for Hannibal, by the way. Like, I don't know how much I've said that previous episode, but I love that Hannibal is now Il Mostro. That sounds fucking dumb. That's the fun thing about Italian for me, is that Italian to me sounds funny because I'm a native Spanish speaker, okay? Italian is really close to Spanish, but not really, not quite. Just a little bit. So, Il Mostro in Spanish would be El Monstruo, which is really close. Il Mostro, El Monstruo. But like, when you read Il Mostro, it's when you're saying something that you know exactly what it means. You know the words, but you're kind of changing them a little bit, so it just sounds funny. And that's my experience with Italian, so I love that he's now Il Mostro. That's fucking dumb. Because I remember when I was a kid, we used to refer... Like, I don't know, it was like a joke that instead of calling things monster, we would say mostro, because it just sounded funny to just bastardize that word. And now Italians is like, no, but that's a real word. And I'm like, haha, Italian's funny. Speak your words, little magic man. I completely butchered that meme. But that's how I feel about Italian. Anyway, Hannibal is Il Mostro. I don't know if we're gonna catch him or if we're gonna fuck him. Or if he's gonna fuck us and then eat us and then die. I don't know where we're going. But you know what? Doc said where we're going, we don't need roads, okay? We're just gonna do some dumb shit and we'll see where it lands. So that's kind of how I feel about Hannibal. And you know what? I'm invested. I fucking love this season so far. Like, that's funny because, like, the first episode of this new season, I was like, more than any episode, I was like, okay, what are we doing? And I feel like a lot of it was because we didn't get Will. And that's funny because, like, you want Will and Hannibal in the show wouldn't work without the other, right? That's what I mean. Like, you need Will and Hannibal. You need the gay tension in order for the show to be good. So the first episode of this season didn't have Will in it. And I think that that's the main reason why I was like, I don't feel too strongly towards it. Fun fact, like, I don't know why I got a new person commenting on all my Hannibal reactions being like, this episode is ranked whatever in my personal rankings, you know? Just like, this episode is ranked number 27. The next episode is ranked number 18. And I'm like, all right, I wasn't expecting someone like that to show up, but hey, I'm glad that you have a ranking system. And they claimed that I think the season 2 finale was number 1 first. And then the next episode, the first episode of season 3, it was like 32nd. It was like, whoa, that's really low. And I'm like, it's probably really low because there's no Will. Because we don't get to see Hannibal and Will. It's just like Hannibal and Bedelia being awkward, and also we just interact with this random dude who dies in the same episode. It's like we spend a lot of time just kind of doing nothing in the first episode of season 3, except establishing where Hannibal is at in life, you know? He's going through a midlife Italian crisis. It's fine. We all do that every now and then. And next episode, it actually sets up a lot of things, and I really like it. And then this episode is just great because it gives you a lot of like background. And I love it. So yeah, that's how I feel about this episode. And yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes next. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. And alright everybody, thank you so much for watching this episode of Hannibal Reaction. If you would like to watch the next 2, you can already do so over at the Patreon. Check out the link in the description for that, social media, all the cool stuff. And I'll see you guys next time, okay? Bye bye, take care.